Welcome everybody. And there is the Lindisfarne 2 Blues under 16 action here. We're at KG5, Aaron Peach Roberts, Duff TV, and thanks as always to Cripps, the Master Baker. And in a moment, we're going to see the Glenorchy Magpies also just getting warmed up. Remember, a little bit of time between matches to allow teams to get warmed up. It's a bit cold here. Here come the Pies onto the ground. Their home turf, the fabled KG5 Oval here in the northern suburbs of the southern capital. And some of the names of the players out there today. And I think it'll be the Glenorchy forward line that'll provide the most problem today for the 2 Blues. They've got some work to do, sitting towards the bottom part of the ladder. Lindisfarne, whereas Glenorchy sitting in the middle and very much in with a chance to play in a shortened final season here in 2020. It's a pandemic season. It's a little different. Footy's still the same though. I hope you're enjoying all the coverage this season there, the Lindisfarne players. And some good names there that have been through their ranks for a period of time. And I imagine the coaches, Paul Kennedy and Tim Lamprell, will look forward to seeing how some of their players run out with an eye for the future of both these clubs. Lindisfarne, 2 premierships in a row in the Southern Football League. Very strong junior football club. And the Glenorchy Magpies, actually playing in the statewide league at senior level, but also the big team in this area along with Claremont and the naming rights. There it is, Cripps the Master Baker. Thanks to Cripps, their wonderful sponsorship of the Southern Footy League and all the efforts, because without them and their commitment to the competition, Duff TV couldn't get the band out here to the headquarters of football in the northern suburbs of Hobart, KG5 Oval. Both teams will just go through the last few instructions. We're still a few minutes away here for the kickoff. Certainly looking out for potentially some of the better players today. Young Quarrel, I'd imagine, for Glenorchy will be amongst some of the more prominent individuals on the ground today. I've seen him play quite a bit of football. Young Burgess as well for the Pies. He'll be in that pack nice and neat and tight, just be involved in it in a lot of the contest. Lindisfarne, probably expect someone like young Holdsworth. Potentially Saltmarsh is a good young footballer too. Sward as well. And Satori will be amongst it for the Lindisfarne boys. But the last few instructions here from the coaching staff and the team, and you can't have too many people on the ground these days, so good to see those young lads. They're probably on the bench or in the periphery of the team and must be just a couple of minutes away. Maybe they're just trying to keep warm. It is a little cold. There might be a little bit of snow around later in the week here in southern Tassie. But at the moment the sun is shining. It's looking bright and lovely. As we can see, the cricket wicket looks alright at the moment. The most important thing, they need to protect the back end of the football season. A fairly short turnaround between seasons at the moment with the cricketers. And the arrival of Pete Siddle, for those that are interested in cricket, coming into the state a few weeks ago. I think he's out of isolation fairly soon. Imagine he'll get on his bike and he will be riding everywhere. So if you see a very athletic looking man with short hair riding around his bicycle with no care in the world, that'll be Peter Siddle. Maybe he might be playing for Glenorchy, although there's a rumour he's going to be playing for another Premier League team, I think, in the northern suburbs. Glenorchy Lindisfarne, STJFL action. We're a few seconds away here from the ball being launched into the air and the action to begin. Just adding to the drummers, we're just waiting for the siren to sound. The ball aloft, and now it's launched and we're into the action. No one winning that contest, although Holdsworth, as I mentioned before, he'll be nitty and gritty on the football. And wherever the ball is, he'll be sniffing around trying to get a touch of it. Hitchens as well for Glenorchy. He's a useful footballer and one of those lads that's enjoying the mullet rebirth. As Glenorchy will get the first decent touch as it's kicked up to the half-back flank. Chase on here. Decided to use hands. It in the end wasn't the most effective because he just knocked it into the pathway of a Lindisfarne player. Just running around, that was Millwood. Now it's just kicked back into the middle of the ground and it's been chopped off here. So Glenorchy with a chance to attack. It's a good looking kick. It's kicked up the half forward, streaming out. Getting that one is Hallett. Turns, decides to play on, kicks it up to half forward. It's a good kick. Not marked though, it's just dropped to the ground, just fell over the fingertips of Mongeron. He might go back again and need some support here, Lindisfarne, because they're lacking some numbers. There's that little toe poke off the ground. Expect to see that one again. Nicole with it. He loses it and dribbles over the boundary line. And the first contested situation, so a nice little foray. There was two really well directed kicks just to the right hand side and a little bit of space for the Glenorchy attackers. Very hard to defend. Rucks go at it. Little push off the ball, not called by the umpire. Bit scrappy here early. Tight in the pocket. Blight swung as he was kicked the ball. Nickel was dragged, didn't really have it. Firm defensive punch. It's kicked and punched out into a little bit of area where two Lindisfarne players decide their knees is the best option. But storming out, trying to find a little bit of area is Quarrel. I mentioned him, he's kicked a goal. Jacob Quarrel with the opener. It was a neat little bit of football. There was two Lindisfarne players, and you'll see here on the Move Food replay, they go to their knees there. He stays up, grabs it, avoids a tackle, and then amongst a pack, drills home a sensational goal. So the Pies are away here at KG5, and nice work from them. So Wakefield just running on the ball at the moment for Glenorchy. I think that's Blythe as well. Actually, in fact, it's not Blythe. It's Burgess, just on the left-hand side of the screen. He'll get on to this one, Burgess, I reckon. It's just tapping in. He actually didn't know where it went, and then he pushes his teammate off the football. Cruising path was Holsworth for the two Blues. Ball's just thrown to the air. I reckon that's a throw. Yes, it is. So, defensive work needed, but that's a poor kick. Slung, dragged to the ground, hands into the mud. The umpire said, no, that's okay, play on. Scooped off the ground. Glenorchy go forward again. It's a driving kick towards the goal, but it's away to the right. And a missed opportunity out of bounds. A few people there just huddled up in the grandstand here. The ground, which it probably hasn't changed too much, but there's been little iterations to the ground over many years. Now there's a call from the umpire. Storming in towards the goal was Howlett. I think it's going to be a free kick here for a little hold. You might just see that one on the Mood Food replay. G-Funk just doing the pots and pans at the moment. But anyway, at the moment it's going to be Jack Howlett pretty much directly in front. And I reckon he's missed. Well, I think I put the mockers on him. So Howlett from 15 metres. He was on a bit of an angle. And maybe he just tightened up as he was facing those goals and he put it out to the right. So behind there, 1-1-7 the Pies. Lindisfarne are yet to have a significant foray into their forward line to see the dark clouds over the back of Mount Stewart and West Hobart. The thumping kick in, going up was Mongeron. He couldn't get it. Loose handball to a teammate that actually had someone covering him. Now Lindisfarne move it up to their half forward line. Racing down and getting onto that one first. We'll have to get his number 58. He moves it further forward. No one's really in best position then, and it kind of just from a shove in the back, and now it's just been brought out to half back again. Glenorchy with some numbers. Hong kick up to centre half. It's a good option. Mongeron again. 1-on-1 contest over the back. That's clever. It's Howlett. Mongeron's kick was outstanding. It just had an extra couple of metres, and we'll see on the replay just a bit of contact on Wells to get away from his defender. But Mongeron's kick was to the advantage. We've seen 3 or 4 of those already from Glenorchy. So kicking skills of them are elite. Let's see if Howlett can do something better than the last one. It's gone to the same spot, to the right, behind. So the kick comes back in. They're going to the tiered side of the ground. Often the area that you can attack at times. Dancing around is Burgess. Burgess goes up to half forward. Tries to find Mongeron. Turns it around. And a wasted opportunity. So 4 or 5 minutes of football here, and there we see someone who does not want to slip over on camera. So thank you very much to all the umpires out there. They're volunteering their time if you're in the goals. I think if you're running the boundaries. Certainly if you're running the field, you're getting a little bit of money, but on that occasion, you've probably got a mum there in the goals. We'll go back to the action. Short kick, it's a good option. Burgess just steadies. He's looking inboard. Another good option from Burgess. He was just trying to get the ball over the top of Quarrel, the goal kicker. And it was chopped off. Another chop-off kick. So just a bit of sloppy stuff at the moment. Driving forward again. Nearly Modgeran. Kick smothered. Desperation from the defenders from Lindisfarne. They've got one at the back here just to clear it. It's a hurried clearance though. Often dangerous. Lurking, looking. Direne misses him. And the left foot of the Lindisfarne defender gets away for now. Good contest at half forward. He's got 3 to beat. Beat 1. Gets around a second. Delivers a ball. Wobbly looking kick, but it's straight. It's effective. And I think that's Nickel maybe. We'll just see him turn around. It was a driving kick, and gee, the defence of Lindisfarne are in a bit of strife at the moment. They certainly look a little bit out of place. In fact, it's our man again, Modgeran. So here's his, had to beat 3. Had no one to support. And now Declan Modgeran, 30 metres out. Let's see if he can get it to the left. And he's started at left. It looks good. It's a goal, and the Pies have their second. So some work to do at the moment for Lindisfarne. They're certainly struggling to get the ball past halfway, but they're equally struggling to get any sort of pressure forward, and kicks coming in even when they're a little wobbly are easily going to a defender, I should say an attacker. Modgeran's kicking. Plenty of height on the end and actually lean back a little bit. I like you running forward after you kick it to ensure it gets a bit of momentum, but it was effective. For old Mr. Couple, Modgeran covers. And Glenorchy, 2 goals, 3-15. The Jackson Motor Company scoreboard, and the Blues, of the 2 blue variety, are yet to register anything. Wakefield backs in again. Grace, off the ground, Grace. Another opportunity, thumps, mud on the ball, tapped behind. Heart stopper there, and there's that umpire again. Maybe you need to give us some stops. Got a coat on. Won't matter if you slip over. We won't laugh. It will not be played on 7 days in 7 days, or 7 plays in 7 days on Duff TV. Now the ball's got plenty of mud on it, and it just squirks into Saltmarsh. Saltmarsh decides what he's going to do, and it's smothered out of bounds. He'll be disappointed with himself. Get that ball a wipe. Give it a clean. There we go. Throws it back. And he'll have a throw up here. Dangerous spot. 2 ruckers go up. Down on his knees. Hogan releases Hamble. He might get it back again. He was in the right position. The umpire's called a push here. And Lindisfarne free. Kick's good, but it's dropped. The sun coming out. It's not a bad spot. Is there a little hole? The umpire says, no, I didn't see that. Threw the ball out into a little bit of space. Greenwood will get it first for Glenorchy. He runs into a tackle. He was stopped. Pushed off the ball. The umpire's okay with that. The ball's within 5. Knocked out the handball by Fleming. Ball moves in further forward. Blythe for Glenorchy should get there first. He tries to tackle around from Sward. 2 players clash hard and heavy. Into their heads. Sward's in there, holding his jaw, and he's going to get a free kick. I think it's a Lindisfarne free kick. Yes, it is. He might be within scoring range. I can tell you what, this is their first movement forward, but it was a bit of bullocking work here. Here's a clash. And it looks like Sward in there, just copying one on his jaw, but he's tight. In the pocket, 35. Kick off the boot looks pretty good. No, it's fading late and a defensive mark taken. Juggling, great grab. And Greenwood is a really good running defender for the Pies. We'll bring it out to the attacking side of the ground. Kick is good. Wakefield stops, props, 50 metres. Okay, missed that one. Did he go over the mark? I just turned for a second and suddenly got him running up the field. He's got about 45. No, he's going to give him a bit more. No, a couple more metres, lad. Get you up the field a bit further. Or we're going to get 100. We've got 100 here. So I can only imagine he was on the half back. Looks like he's got about 83. He's going to line up for a shot here. I think he might just be out of sight scoring distance, so from 50. Kick's got some length. It's going to short to that dangerous position. Hands up, tap through, hit the fence. In the mud again. Give that ball a wipe. And behind for the Magpies. 2-5-17. They've certainly got plenty of opportunities. They could have been up by 3 or 4 goals. As it is, they're up by 17 points. The ruckman gets to it first. Hogan. Dashing run here from Glenorchy. Doreen misses the football. Ball pops out. Glenorchy still with numbers. A fist was the decision. Maybe okay because it fell into the hands of one of his teammates. Grace. Ball off the ground again. I reckon, as I mentioned, we'll see a fair bit of those balls bash with their foot along the turf here at KG5. Sliding in, that's dangerous. And it might find the boundary line. No, it's just kept in play. Good looking kick. If it just gets past here, Glenorchy might be in a bit of strife, but some good defensive work and a bit of that pressure relief for now. So just starting to even up a little bit. Angus Hogan there just picking up the football. He'll be in the ruck contest, I'd imagine here. He needs to get a bit of influence going because a good tap ruckman. It's going to be a bit late on this one. Gets there late. Gets a good tap. Gets it down to one of his teammates. Trying to spin, but only spinning in was match him into tackle. The ball's just tapped further forward. Kicked up high. Nickel goes up. Great mark over the back. But he decides the middle of the ground's the best option. He's got a teammate up there. He waited and waited and waited and fell into the hands of Banks. He thinks a handball's a good option. It's not a bad one. The kick's good as well. Glenorchy trying to put some pressure on Holdsworth. Holds it up. Goes back again. Lays the tackle. Can't hold up Hitchens. And I reckon he's held him for too long. He's going to get a free kick. So disappointing for Holdsworth then. Just needed to stop and neutralise that. Now this is strike, but he falls over. He thumps the ground. Glenorchy away. Kicking up towards half forward. They've got an extra player in defence as the ruckman's just drifted back. Just on the edge is Bud. And we'll have it held up. Nearly 13 gone. STJFL action. It's under 16s and a half. Always a quirk with the numerics. Punch over the top by Webster. Now it's clear. Now, what can we see? Some run. Sladen's stops. Chips further afield. It was a good lead. Can that stay in play? Keep it in, young lad. He does for now. Archer falls to ground. Just needed to be a little bit more clean. And Archer had a player running next to him, McCallum. And I reckon Lindisfarne would have had a first decent forward entry and an opportunity for a score. So throw up. No boundary umpires, obviously. And Isaac can't get it. Sisse, he's got it. He'll get a handball here. Now we turn. Quick kick from him. Tie. Probably hasn't gone the regulated distance. Punch by Archer. Sisse in there again. Will he get it again? He'll get it here first. Good clash. Falls to his knees. He's been on the ground a lot and he's probably the muddiest knees out there at the moment. 3 Glenorchy players striving to get the football. The foot coming through of Archer. Archer keeps it in, but now it's out of bounds. So a bit of work here for the umpire. Got to do the work of the boundary umpire. Got to clear it out, but I do like this because it brings the ball back in and keeps everything nicely aligned as Manazik dancing, weaving, Holdsworth. And I think it's a free kick here. So we're just looking. It's going to be Saltmarsh with it. He decides he's going to get it to Holdsworth. Holdsworth's into the pocket. The ball dropped here. They've missed a few opportunities. Handball's back. Still a chance now. Trying to pick it up is Archer. Coming in late. Trying to search for success is Saltmarsh. It's still alive, this football. North's got some players around it. Sisse in there. He can't get it. Into a little bit of area where now the run of the Pies. Dancing. Diving. It's a class of Greenwood. Greenwood releases it. But not for long. There's a lot of players around this ball at the moment. There's some indecisiveness too from both teams. Although that's not bad. Maybe could have got a little bit stronger in that ruck contest. Kicked out again. And Glenorchy will finally just relieve the pressure for a little bit. Scrappy stuff. Wet, cool, wintry day here in Glenorchy. And they certainly got most of the play therein, but just turned a little bit. It was Lindisfarne trying to work their way back into this match. Kicked off the ground. Glenorchy with numbers around that one. Popping out the handball. Had a lot of the ball, Marjoran. Certainly looks dangerous. Nickel goes past him. Marjoran again. Clever. Greenwood coming down from defence. He's going to try and have a shot on goal. But unfortunately it's away to the right. And another minor score. So that was a risky kick. because he brought Ford Wolf into the action. Ford Wolf tries to pick it up. Now he goes back and retrieves it. Ford Wolf lays a bit of pressure. Tight in his pocket. Desperation from that Lindisfarne player. That was sensational. And it's resulted in a free kick. So the umpire just take this one back again. See here in the mood for a replay. Now the umpire said it's advantage, and gee, it's a harsh rule at the moment. I think that's a good decision just to take it back. So Lindisfarne deep in defence there, the couple of fans there. The parents and family huddled there closely tucked together. Archer, Holdsworth, tackle, ball out of bounds. Just settling things down here, Lindisfarne. They really need a score. I mean, that's kind of obvious. But as it go over the top with the helmet on. Burgess on the edge of that one. Matcham. Just surprised by getting his tummy. He just hacks it up towards the forward 50. And that is another behind. So 7 behinds in this quarter. The Jackson Motor Company scoreboard only reads a 2 goals, and they've got 19 points on the score. 2-7-19, and the 2 Blues yet to get off the 0. Driving kick. A lot of marks being dropped today. There's an air fresh. Going back and getting against Tumney. Turns around the corner. Good defensive punch. Knocks it out towards the boundary. That was a bit of a dangerous move then, and it's probably not taking him high, but I don't disagree with the umpire. The intent was sloppy. And they talk a lot about players need to be careful when they go in. It's going to be a free kick here. To Sartori. Drives it. Goes to 45. Gee, look, Holdsworth was the option, but just wasn't kicked anywhere near him. Cruising through. Quarrel. Jeez, he's classy. Kicks from 50. Now, everyone's been having pot shots, but a Jacob Quarrel from downtown in the car park has just drilled a wonderful goal. Well, let's have a look and see where he's kicked this from. So there was a contest initially, and there's Quarrel from 56 metres. He's kicked at 50, and then with the softness of the ground and some confidence from the goal umpire, sausage roll time for Quarrel. That was a beauty. And I reckon he might be happy to himself. He's got 2. Mondrian's got 1 as well. And now they've got the scoreboard ticking over. It's going to be low scoring, you imagine. The weather conditions aren't going to help. Holdsworth with his fist tried to punch it to one of his teammates. It slipped through his fingers. It somehow worked this further forward though. Tackle laid, it's been released though. And Glenorchy has just got it out for now. Not a bad option. Some run here from Glenorchy. They've been good through the middle of the ground. Just feel like people want to bounce, but they're not that confident. Kick in. Just squirting over the top of Mondrian. 1 tap off the ground. Lindisfarne need to provide a bit of pressure here. Howlett on the ground on his knees. Nickel dances back. Howlett again. Kicks up high. And a defensive mark. In fact, that was Mondrian. Taken on the last line by the 2 Blues. Sese just goes through his fingertips. He goes again with some pace. Gets tackled. Once again, look how many players around that pack from Glenorchy. They're dominating those situations where the ball drops, and that's a domination as well. A fine grab. And some congratulations from Tommy. I think it's Howlett again. We'll see this delivery. So running the ball in and then driving it long is the option. And amongst 3 different players there, the opposition variety, and Mondrian lining up for his 2nd goal. Tight in the pocket, right near us. Gee, that swung late. Everything's been going to the right. That one swung to the left. So Mondrian misses, and Glenorchy miss an opportunity to really nail the coffin in this first quarter. It is 3-quarter time though, and a dominant performance here from Glenorchy. They're on top early on the Jackson Motor Company score, but 26 plays, zilch. But I imagine though, Lindisfarne will certainly fight back here on Duff TV. I hope you're enjoying the action. Glenorchy in the lead, 3-8-26 on Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. The Farn yet to register, but they're kicking to what is often a scoring end of the ground at the back end of the season, as the weather pattern does sometimes change, but generally at the right hand side you're kicking into a bit of a west loop. That's often where the scores can often come. And Glenorchy enjoyed that right hand side. So let's have a look here. Callum Banazic and Sassi also in the middle of the ground. They need to get something going here because they've got the talent. Looks like Oliver Holdsworth just on the top left there of the circle. Second quarter away. Action here, STJFL. Neither player got a hand on the football. Webster was going up. Holdsworth pushing into the ground and resting for the football. And going to be held there. Even though it's a little wet and a bit miserable today, football's been pretty good. We've seen a few marks dropped. But overall, not a bad standards. Burgess flicked out to Holdsworth on his left, squirts it out. Just jumping out of that tackle was Archer. But once again, the run off half back from Blythe and Co. has been sensational at the moment. Garwood's going to get there. He's going to lay a tackle. Further on to Ford Wolf. Dancing around as Howlett. He's been influential today. Kicks into the hot spot. Nickel trying to get his hands on the football. Taken high. Umpire's on the wrong side. Decides to tap it out. Reaching down as Webster. And I reckon we'll have a hold up here as both players saying, can't get rid of the football. And the ball up here in the left forward pocket. Sisse gets there first. Handballs. Banazic, I think it is, with the helmet on. Drives out long. At the back is Greenwood for Glenorchy. Now there's some run. Holdsworth up to centre half forward. But once again, the run off half back of Wells. Kicks to the mud patch. Booted off the ground by Doreen. Maybe onto that one might be Quarrel. Now he gets it. Drops the ball out of the fingertips of Doreen. And a bit of rebound football going on. It's kicked up that centre half forward. Numbers here. Hogan. Pushing Wells. Misses him. Pushing and barging his way through is Banazic. Now the kick goes forward for Glenorchy. I should say for Lindisfarne. They've got there first. Well, bit of a showstopper. We'll just have to pick up who that one was again. A little half forward. I kind of thought that went through the fingers of McCallum. We'll just see this one on the Moon Fruit replay. It was kind of out of nothing really. So there was that little contest then. McCallum in there. There he goes, right boot. It's a good snap in the end. A quality bit of football, a quality finish. Does that give Lindisfarne a little bit of a leap? Let's hope it does. Banazic in the ruck. Then he tries to win it down. Sisse gets his handball out looking for Holdsworth. So if I mention those three players, they're going to have to play a pivotal role to drag the contest back to level pegging. Greenwood's been magnificent today off half back, driving the ball up the half forward at a tremendous bit of footy. Mongeron, a little further from goal than what we saw in the first quarter. Nickel in front position, falls out of his fingertips, recovers, delivers towards the goals again. Dangerous position for it to be. Trying to run on a Grat One's iron. He misses the football. Ford Wolf pushing and shoving. Ford Wolf again. Lindisfarne, some defensive pressure required as that ball's tapped off the ground. Ford Wolf just in a bit of water there. He taps it further afield. Lindisfarne desperately trying to defend and get this ball further outside their forward 50. Sisse, tackle lay. Dancing, finding his way out of that one is Webster. Then it's knocked further forward by Wakefield. Wakefield into the hot spot. It's just going to go over the back of the pack here. Howlett, can he get his foot on it? He couldn't. The defender got his foot on it just in time. And Lindisfarne will just hold it up. It's a good kick. One-on-one contest in the middle. Lindisfarne, as Holdsworth misses it. He's had a frustrating day. He's had a little hold. I think it is going to be a free kick here. So Archie with the ball off half back. Deserved that one, Lindisfarne. Gee, they were good in defence then. Kicks up to the quarter. Holdsworth, can he get it? Just knocked off the ground. First should be Saltmarsh. Dancing through his Tumney. And Tumney has knocked it over the boundary line. Has he? He's saying it's still in. I reckon he hasn't fooled umpire, and the umpire's not being fooled. That's a deliberate. So out of bounds here. Centre wing. Ruck will come up against each other again. So a nice little bit of 4 or 5 minutes in this. We're 4.5 gone. It's been entertaining stuff. Banazic over the top using his right hand to get a good thump on the football. Kicks half to half forward. Blythe over the back for Glenorchy. He can't get it. Running past Wells. Greenwood tries to get the football. Loses it. Goes back to the ground. And it's going to be Baz. I think that's Callum. Glenorchy goes up. Looking for Holdsworth. He wasn't in best position, Cisse. Every time he gets, he just launches the handball. Greenwood. And it's over the back now. Moved into the hands of Burgess. Burgess with a bit of run off half back. It's kicked into the half forward. Nichols there first. He misses the football. Defender comes in. Boots the ball onto the boot. A lot of balls being dropped. It's not overly windy here, so it's a skill level a little down at the moment. And Doreen with the footy. The long arms and along the legs of a Doreen. Another drop chest mark. I reckon that's the 5th in his quarter. Burgess goes back again. He has 2 players to contend with. Nichols one of those. Archer. He's shoved off the footy. And the umpire said, hey, that's not the right thing to do. Free kick. Benezic. 1-on-1 contest. Climbing up high. Archer swings, kicks, right boot. Another boot off the ground. It's a funny old game of footy at the moment. Holdsworth just for a handball. Stopped. Left boot. Dribbles towards goal. And another one to the right. So Lindisfarne just getting a little bit happening on the scoreboard at the moment. And JMC, it says it's 1-7. Glenorchy, they're 3 goals further afield and a lot more points. Defensive work. Meredith looks one way. Has he got a left boot? Yes, he does. A very neat left boot. But it was misdirected. Now it's been chopped off by Bud. Launches it back in. Just don't think that was the best spot for Bud to kick because there was 3 Glenorchy players in that area. Maybe just needed to ease the balls. The rain just falling down at the moment. We mentioned why the players dropping the ball. Well, chest marks aren't working. It's only going to be much harder to go overhead mark. Now that might be holding the football. It looked like Meredith went up. Didn't release it, but the umpire said it was okay. Half forward now. Lindisfarne will launch the ball back in, so they've got a bit of play here at the moment. But that's a good defensive mark taken by the Glenorchy defender. So miserable old footy conditions. Sometimes we love it. A little hard to be running out there, all nice in our commentary position. And Meredith with a free kick. He decides playing's the best option. Look, it wasn't a bad one either, but kick wasn't great. Wakefield into the forward 50. Hasn't been there for a little while for Glenorchy, so their forwards have just been starved of opportunities. But there might be an opportunity here for Blythe. Blythe in the pocket, gets round one. He's going to have a think. It's going to turn. Blythe on his right. What's he done with that? He's kicked a screamer. No, he hasn't. He tricked everybody. Unfortunately, with volunteer umpires, they don't give you those initial indicators that it could be a goal. The body language was a bit neutral and I got a bit excited. A Blythe goal in the corner would have been fantastic. We see here in the mood food replay. Yeah, just to the near side. Blythe again into the action. This time instead of going towards goal. You can see how much water's on the ground. It's sort of coming down a little heavy at the moment. You see the raindrops there just in front of the camera. Good contest in front of us. Armstrong decided to stay on his feet. Probably the best option. Iron. Wells for the Magpies. CC with a little bump off that one. Just gave his teammate a little bit of time, but it didn't matter because it's found Matcham. Matcham's kicks up to half forward. Just reaching up to Howlett. Howlett goes again and goes down. Dances one way. We had a lot of dancing at the moment. Can't dance at nightclubs at the moment. You can dance on the football ground here in Tasmania. No COVID policy against that. Climbing up Webster. Just see how slippery the ball is becoming. It's literally one of those things where you've got to be confident with your grip. And handballs sometimes, unless you've got a teammate who you know is going to get the ball and it's going on the way up and it's towards their chest, it's going to be hard work to catch that footy tumbling off the ground. Tumney might get a second touch here. Montgeron kicks, not a bad option. Just get it going forward. The old adage, get the ball moving forward in wet conditions. And eventually you'll get an opportunity to score. It's a behind, unfortunately, and kick goes out. But there's an overhead mark. And it's Montgeron again. He's having a beauty showing his hands are still dry. He made the football look a little dry too, but probably a little further out than he'd be comfortable with from what we've seen so far. So Declan Mondrian from 45, a drop of his, probably hasn't quite got it down, but okay distance. Pressure needed here. Meredith. Soccer is the standard of footy at the moment. Webster tight in the pocket. And Webster's kick is still in. Howlett. Quick flashy shot on goal from Howlett was missed. I'm not sure what's going on here at the moment. We've got a free kick because he played on when he wasn't allowed to. Go back and do it again, young lad. An hour away again. Quirkiness of the rules in football. There are a lot of rules. It's hard work. The umpire, Holdsworth up high. Goes through his chest. Holdsworth again trying to butter up Webster. Sisse. Free kick. Webster's got it. Looked like he tried a drop kick then. It's tough conditions out there, and Oliver Holdsworth with another ball for him. He kicks in towards the mud. Once again, it's Greenwood. Taps again. Now there's a bit of mud on it. It's going to be harder. Another tap. Bit of Darryl Baldock work there. Eventually, he couldn't keep tapping the footy. Now they drive it further forward. Just dropped off the chest of Quarrel. Quarrel steadies. Drives from 50. Don't tell me he's done another one from downtown. No, he hasn't. Ran to left. And one behind him. Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. It's got some behinds on at the moment for the Pies. 3 goals, 12 to them. Lindisfarne 1-1. Bouncing off the chest with Matcham. Matcham was running past. The long sleeves look good, don't they? Matcham uses a soccer technique. Quarrel laying a tackle. And Lindisfarne will now do the same thing the other way. Working his way through was Matcham. And we're going to have a free kick here. So a little high there, and Sladen, so we'll get it for the Two Blokes. Kick is alright. Gee though, every kick is hard though, because it's bouncing off the chest and slipping through the fingers of the players in these wet, slippery, wintry conditions. We've had such a good winter so far. At times it's probably felt the last few days in southern Tasmania a little miserable. Howlett for the Magpies. Kicks it up to the left forward pocket. You see his kick is a little wobbly now. Just swings up the boot and finds Bud, but a bit of running work then from Blythe. And he misses another. Hard work for the scorer today. Lots of ones going there at the moment. Kick comes in. Just another missed opportunity. It's a agile game as Matcham to 30. Matcham marches towards goal. Another minor score. And off you go. Got to go get the football yourself. That's how tough it is. No volunteers, no crowd. You've got to do all the work you can to keep things happening. And only one football by the look of it as well at the moment. So they always seem to let them play on these days. Going for the barrel. Sartori in the contest. Sladen's trying to work his ball. Sisse in there. Kick off the ground. It may have gone out of bounds. But it's really hard for the umpire to call that one, particularly when there's no boundary umpires. There we go. It was out of bounds, but that's okay. We'll let that one go through. No video replay. Just at the back with Sladen's. I thought there might have been a little bit of push there, and his teammate got in the way then. It's running off half back, so Lindisfarne trying to work it further forward. Hitchens. Umpire's called a free kick. Now you can't play on from about 10 metres in front, young Oliver Holdsworth, so got to go from where you are. Now Lindisfarne launch it again. Did he have the football? The umpire said he did. There. Kick goes high. And Meredith is getting a bit of the ball this quarter. got to play further afield and just really got to get your hands down. Tap the ball down. Howlett has enough time to go again, but there's a bit of water just on that half forward area for Glenorchy in this corner. It's making it very difficult for their forwards. Banks slips over. Pass Benazic. And I think we've got another free here. So Holdsworth with some run. Left boot. Drives it up to half forward. Into the forward 50 where they need to. Bit of volleyball action as the ball's tapped to the ground by Hitchens. He's in there again laying a tackle. Lindisfarne trying to find a way and get a shot on goal here. Dare. Sissy. Little bit of a boot on him. He's worked his socks off today and I reckon they're pretty muddy. Along with his uniform, he's been in the middle of that KG5 area. Good bump. Benazic. On his knees and releasing that one is Howlett. Trying to find a teammate and he can't. Kick off the ground's the best option. Seems to be the default option at the moment. That might be holding the football. No, says the umpire. Thrown down with Sladens. Coming in to provide some support. Banks and Wells. Boots off the ground again. It's only to a Glenorchy player. Unfortunately, the kicking off the ground does get you a little bit of meterage, but it doesn't necessarily have a lot of accuracy. In saying that, then neither do some of the kicks today. Saltmarsh. The right fist of Burgess. Quarrel putting some pressure. Gets enough pressure. Then he actually wins the football on his back. Tries to get it out. Ball's back in the mud. Tap under there. A little bit of a nutmeg option. Desperation and some feet and some skills and some run. Holdsworth driving forward for Lindisfarne. Kick goes further forward. There's all pies there. And unfortunately, missed opportunity. Dare running off back. Kicking up to the centre. Through the fingers. And now just released up to centre half forward, but another kick has been turned over. This is a tough old game of football today. Wakefield drags his opponent down to the ground and they're going to be a bit of a push and shove here because I don't really like that one too much. And I reckon Wakefield's won himself a free kick. We'll see in the move food replay. Gets it here. Didn't dispose of it, and actually in fact it was probably a throw in the end. They have kind of slightly altered those rules, or the interpretations. Matcham's got it. Delivers a nice kick. Grace now. Grace's kick. Nickel dances. Looks. Left boots the option. Kicks it up to the square. Oh, just slipping over at the wrong time was Modgeran. Although somehow has kept it in. Still kept it in. And after all of that, it's gone out of bounds right forward pocket. In fact, has it even gone through for a behind? It has. So kick comes out. Chance now running through. Forward Wolf. Goal square option. That looks like Mondrian again. Guess what? Another behind. So 1-on-1 contest. Mondrian's been really good. He's taken a couple of overhead marks. Tell you what, that was a difficult one. We'll see on the replay. Geez, he nearly got it. Some defensive pressure at the last minute from Wells. Just prevented another goal. And probably would have been curtains, you would have thought, at half time. Just keeping themselves in the game at the moment. It's been due to the kicking of Glenorchy, but it's a tough day to kick straight. Sissay, he gets tackled by two Glenorchy players. He can just hold this up, it'd be a good result. He does. So we've seen a little bit of sun today, but not a lot. And the rain's come as well. A little bit of snow on top of Glenorchy. The mountain would be rather chilly at the moment. Screwing it around the corners, Matcham. And he didn't get the distance. So Lindisfarne will just chip the ball further afield. Some run off half back. Can they get something happening? Let's hope they can. Centre wing now for Lindisfarne. 1-on-1 contest at centre half forward. Banks gets it back to one of his teammates. Might get it back here again. Archer in there. Kick smothered. Sissay, Archer again. With a headband on. Right boot. turns it around the corner, dancing up, trying to get it. Holdsworth looks around, neat pick up from him, jumps out of his fingertips, goes again. Some pressure applied from the running Greenwood. Greenwood and Holdsworth, great contest. And in the end, taking over the boundary line was Blight. Gee, Greenwood and Holdsworth got some pace. Pretty handy at times. I mean, Holdsworth just so unlucky. Such a neat scoop of the ball into his hands, but just unfortunately, it still jumped out. Number 21 again. We'll try and get his name at half-time. Don't have him in our record at the moment. And that is the siren. It is half-time. And a better quarter from Lindisfarne. They certainly worked their way back into this contest here at KG5. The goal kickers, though, Modran with one and Quarrel with a couple. And Benny McCallum. Look at that, 316. That's what it reads on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. 3:16:34. It is a fight. Glenorchy have got the early advantage here, and they've had it for most of the day, but a really good second quarter there from Lindisfarne. They worked their way back into the game, and it was what I spoke, Oliver Holdsworth in the middle of the ground. Thought Wells did a little bit of work too. Satori was involved, Benazik, Armstrong, so they just started to get a little bit more cohesion, but it was a really scrappy and hard-fought game. And with the class of Declan Modran, Jacob Quarrel. Welcome back, everyone. It's half-time's gone, 3:16:34. The Magpies, Lindisfarne, 117. STJFL action, KG5, Aaron Peach Roberts, Duff TV. And we've got a wet and woolly day here. And I wonder what Paul Kennedy, the senior coach of the TSL, is having to say to the Glenorchy boys. It's hard to kind of find some positives out of that first half of football. Not necessarily from Glenorchy, and there's Kennedy there, but more about the style of game. You can tell them, well, you need to be cleaner with the football or be better with your kicks, but the conditions are very, very difficult out there. It's going to make it really hard in this second half, and I apologise, I've been calling Callum Benazik, who has had a little bit of the ball. I think, in fact, I should have been calling Angus Hogan there. He's the man in the ruck, I believe. Well, they've got a couple of sevens, and sevens aren't too fantastic, unfortunately, on White. Number 71 Archer there, so a lot of sevens and ones and seven. So I apologise, I think I had those two young lads mixed up in that first half. I think I got it right in the back half of the quarter, as I screwed my eyes in a little close to the screen to ensure, and then stuck my head out the window of the van to make sure I had that number right. So second half action, Duff TV, STJFL action. It's the 16s here at KG5. And then we just talked about in the ruck. Meredith. Quarrel. Busy in that first quarter. Into the action again. And a couple of things we've seen so far is behinds and kicks off the ground. They are very common. And the third thing we've seen a fair bit of is drop chest marks. Another number 7 there, 79 Armstrong's going to have to get the footy and give it back to the umpire. And I'll have a throw up here. As the sun peeking through again, in between showers. Good old-fashioned football. There's a bit of water sitting on the ground at the moment. Draining a lot better than it did. The dangerous Modran. And the goalkeeper in the last line of defence for Lindisfarne. Hasn't quite relieved that kick, because coming through and trying to get the ball was the Glenorchy player, Gaffney. But first onto that one is Doreen. Doreen keeps it in, goes back down, kicks the ball high into the air. Advantage to Glenorchy. The defence coming out. And now they'll steady through Banks. Sassy, he gets it. He runs a bit, charges away from Tumney. Kicks it up to centre half. Off the chest of Wells. Wells goes again. Nearly falls over as he tries to pick that one up. And then a good tackle laid by Archer. And we've got a hold up here. Sword on the edge with the hair flowing over the back of his neck. No one in the ruck then. And it's probably missed opportunity, because he could have just grabbed it out and ran away with it. Wakefield. And a free kick here to Lindisfarne. Saltmarsh, Sassy, looks for a teammate, decides he's going to screw it around the corner into the left pocket. Picked up off the ground by Fleming. And it dribbles it over the boundary line. Right forward pocket, so an opportunity here to Lindisfarne just to set things up a little bit. Try and get a stoppage, try and work something further forward. McCullum there. Look out for him, he's not bad in these contests. Archer might be just in this ruck at the moment. In fact, it's going to be Banks, and then coming over the top was Fleming. He was the player who had that shot on goal a few moments ago. And out of bounds in the same spot and the same result and the same thing done again. See the mud up the back of the umpire's legs. It's probably been running through the middle. Nearly by McCullum. Archer falls on his backside, throws it in the air. Probably a little lucky to get away with that one out of bounds. So good start here for Lindisfarne. They've moved the ball into their forward 50. They just need to keep the ball in there. So many teams are good at scoring and keeping their ball in. They're not necessarily too fussed about finessing the ball. Just keep it in there, and eventually we'll get an opportunity to have a scoring goal. Tough conditions. There's no Charlie Cameron out there. Sisse might be the one here to maybe just get on the end of one and screw one around and get a goal. Just get something happening. Maybe Sladen's for Lindisfarne. Hogan over the top. Still no opportunity. Still hasn't been released. Still inside the defensive 50. And it's going to be a free here to Lindisfarne, out of bounds on the full. So it's pretty confident he's going to have a shot on goal. He's the right-hand side here, in front of the bank. Keeps it towards that pocket area. Got to stay on your feet though. Saltmarsh tight. And behind. So contrasting efforts here. He's got the boots on, this goal umpire. He knows what he's doing. He was prepared. Another volunteer, thank you very much. Plenty of volunteers out doing their thing in football around Tassie at the moment, even with a few teams not competing. Long driving kick up to half forward. Knees weren't the best option to try and mark it. Quarrel boots it off the ground. Slips through the fingertips there, the Glenorchy player, and then through the fingertips of the Lindisfarne player. Good contest in the middle. Hogger steadies, chips, good option. 45 wasn't bad from him. This is a good passage of play here from Lindisfarne. Tell you what, they held onto that one. It looks like Fleming's got it. So just lowered their eyes, I think they call it, but just got the ball into a little bit of area where a player could run onto it. So this good little chip kick here. Get that ball out towards the side, create some space. Sward's kick here was even better. And an overhead mark. There's only probably a few minutes of those until the ball gets wet. So kick and goal here. They are desperate. And they're going to be desperate for a bit longer. Out of bounds, left-hand side. Two Lindisfarne players going up for that one too. Hogan, get there first. Sisse goes to ground as he often has today. Webster applying some pressure for the Pies. Just somehow Banks got his boot to that one, and we've got an injury here. Just bashed his leg, I reckon. And good on you, Jaden Banks, coming in there, just consoling number 9. Wells, who I think just clopped one on the side of his knee, and he's just off to the side as he limps around. Dancing up. Fleming. Sisse. Hold it in here, the Pies. Trying to get his foot to it, did he? The umpire said he had an opportunity, didn't dispose of it. Free kick. And I tell you what, every time he gets a ball, Jay Webster, he wants to run. It's been a good option off half back. Sladen's in best position. Hogan goes to ground, stays. That's good. Looks for some teammate help. Didn't really have anyone running past. Quarrel loads up half a torpedo into half forward. Meredith. Howlett didn't have a chance, and that's good. Gets it out the side to Sartori. Sartori kicks it up. Sisse in the first position. He's going to be in a bit of a race here. Just missed the shoulders then, Archer. It's a little lucky. Sisse in that watery spot. Probably where it drained, just near the cricket wicket of the Glenorchy District Cricket Club. And the umpire will need that one to set it up again. So Good start here for the two Blues. Not a really big roster, this under 16 one. 6 teams in it. Let's hope that might grow over the next little while. Hogan. Sladen's on the end. Tries to lay tackle, but just too elusive is Webster. It's a good football name in this part of the world. Now it's gone high into the air. I think we're to rain that one. The umpire says playing. It just looked like it's taken high then. And we've got a one, the old-fashioned one-on-one. The full forward running out. Handball over the top by Burgess. The kick on goal. And the Bermuda Triangle of KG5 sucks it into that right-hand corner. Out of bounds. So nice to see a game of football. We've got the old full forward versus the forward. All by themselves inside the forward 50. I don't see that too often. The fist of Howlett just misses the ball. And that's just hit the knee, and it probably even hit the line. I reckon it's out of bounds. Good call from the umpire, considering he's 30 metres away in the middle of the ground. So ruck contest here, just working things out. Jack Howlett will go up for it. Can't get his hands. Now he gets his foot to it. Kicks it in towards the forward 50. Running out and trying to grab that one. Dare. Glenorchy. Dare again. Trying to grab and ruffle his player. Diving on the football is Burgess for Glenorchy. Burgess again. Two players desperate, just shoved off that one by Howlett. Just feel like a kick or a handball's needed just to get it out the side here. It's not bad. And it finds Benazic. His kick hasn't gone far enough. Tumney drops off his chest. Tumney goes again. Spills out of his fingertips. The handball goes back one. Benazic, he can't grab it. Swinging through is Wakefield. Oh, look out. Fortuitous. The chest mark. We won't give this one a goal yet because we saw a goal missed here in the first quarter. So not guaranteed in these slippery conditions. But you'd imagine Jack Howlett should be more than evens to kick this goal and stretch this lead out. It's 1-1 Lindisfarne. Glenorchy, a bunch of behinds. Can this be a goal? Yes, it is. So Howlett gets one back. I'll tell you what, I reckon that's deserved for Jack Howlett. They've had 3 or 4 minutes of polished football, Glenorchy. They had a lot of it in the first half. Lindisfarne has come back. They had the first 4 or 5 minutes therein. But as being the case, the big scoring options are the forwards for Glenorchy. And Hogan, he's just playing deep in defence right on the line, and that meant that a teammate was just standing by himself, I should say in opposition, 4 or 5 metres out. So 4:16:40. And we've got actually a discrepancy of the scoreboard. So we've got 41 there, but looks like the scoreboard here at the ground's got 41, but it's still a commanding lead here. Ruck contest. Meredith taps it once, taps it again. In fact, that's Matcham with the long sleeves. Let's get a bit of dirt on those ones. And on this occasion, it's going to be Lindisfarne to stop it. Now that's a little unlucky as he fell to the ground as he was trying to get it. Tyler up to the pocket. Howlett at the back. Looked like he was trying to kick it and then he nearly chopped on and lost his feet. Popped out by Garwood. Glenorchy building again. Burgess on the edge of that one. He's desperate. I reckon he thinks he's going to get on the end of that one and have a shot. And he can't. And Hitchens is the man up who just gets the ball going. So Howlett's in the ruck here. Hogan up for him. Gets his right foot fist to it. Taps it down. And dribbled over the boundary line. Just in front of Blythe. So Glenorchy pushing forward again. I reckon they might have had information around their forward structures. Seems to be a bit more space. The first 5 minutes was outstanding. Had a couple of really good chances to get the ball inside forward 50. Benazic. Shot. Snap on goal. Burgess. He's got one, and now Glenorchy are starting to push this game out. So Kay Burgess. It's just gone a little blurry here on Duff TV. We'll see this one in the Mood Food replay. Waited and waited and waited. Tunnel ball style like you're in primary school. And Kay Burgess was there with his left foot. Trusty as ever. Slots the goal through. And the Pies get a couple in the last couple of minutes. So dominating this quarter on the scoreboard. It's probably evens in general play though. And they're back in the middle in the mud. The bumping contest from Wakefield. Matcham. Spills out of fingertips from Sladen's. And a free kick. So handball's an option. No, it's going to go back here. I think he was a couple of metres behind. So cheeky run and fronting pass with Holsworth, who's probably the better player on the ground for Lindisfarne the first quarter and a half. Just drifted away in that last few minutes of that second quarter as he probably run out a bit of puff, but we need a bit of run from him. That high tackle? No, it's not. Sissy goes past, tries to go again. Back in the glue pot. Handball's out. And Sissy is tackled to the ground. Somehow it's still going. That football was that slippery. It's just slipping through everybody. Big contest. Get it out of that mud pot, boys. Get a bit of free-flowing football. Hogan goes down. Laser Shepherd trying to get Holdsworth some space to get a kick on. He still couldn't find any room there. It's really got scrappy and tough and tight at the moment. Teams they've lifted the contested effort. Particularly Glenorchy here. Burgess gets a handball out. Finds Matcham into some space, trying to find Howlett. Howlett gets there first. Pressure from Wells. Wells and Howlett. Howlett gets it. Taps it out again. Great work from Wells. He's got some supportive work coming through from the side from Millwood. Wells. Wonderful couple of minutes of footy here. Reckon this game's opened up a little bit. Certainly the intensity's up. It's STJFL action. Duff TV. I hope you're enjoying it. Cripps the Master Baker is our friends who help bring this game live. Hogan flying over the top. Manazik thrown to the ground. Garwood. Ball out of bounds. So 14 gone. Glenorchy pushing for a finals berth. Lindisfarne down the bottom end of the table. Punched out the hands of Banks. And now Saltmarsh. Saltmarsh's kick's not bad. As his age just on the edge, he's been really clever so far, Banks. His handballs and give-offs, he's one of those players who just understands the game but may not have the capacity to get a lot of the ball. Sometimes you just got to go down and pick it off the ground, and the initial kick didn't really help his teammates. Hogan on the end, he grabs it, looks for some help. Didn't have an opportunity to dispose of that one. Neither did Quarrel. Holdsworth. Gee, the stuff is tight football. Contested, yes. Sloppy and slippery, yes. Still pretty entertaining stuff, though. And Lindisfarne are a long way behind on the scoreboard, and not necessarily in general play. Burgess, free kick here. So half-forward opportunity. Just trying to turn and get that one was Greenwood. Sissy swoops onto the football, kicks it into the forward 50, over the back. Mark is dropped. Looked like Fleming had a fair bit of the time then. And an opportunity gone begging for Lindisfarne. As Fleming may have thought there was some pressure coming, but he did have his time. To say, still an opportunity. And that kick's just booted out of defence and just cleared for now. Look at the water coming through, and most of the statewide league grounds these days are in pretty good nick, and this is certainly a good draining ground, but indication of the rain that's been had in the last little while, that it's just sitting on top of the surface and hasn't had a chance to seep its way through, and there you go. That might be on the highlights package, I reckon. Let's hope we don't have to get the Surf Life Saving in here to rescue anyone in the watery conditions at KG5. Burgess turns. Didn't really think too much about that kick. Probably had a little bit more time, and that's a great grab. There's Matcham starting to get a little bit of the ball. The long sleeves. Hogan goes down. Needs some help from a teammate. Doesn't have enough, and probably all day long he's been desperate. He just hasn't had enough help going in that ruck area. I think we've got a free kick here. Yes, we do. So now chip further afield. That's a fabulous no, not quite marked. Blythe drives, misses, behind. So Lindisfarne kicking it out now. But once again, it's not being cleared. Chip goes further afield. Looks like they're trying to find Ford Wolf. Quarrel spills out of his fingertips. He boots it off the ground. Race on here. Nickel in first. He thought Shepherd's probably laid by him. Grace snaps. Grace misses. Behind. So ball retrieved by that young lad over the back of the fence there, late in this third quarter. So dancing out and running out and getting that one is Saltmarsh. Doesn't really have a lot of options, Saltmarsh, so he decides play on and he's being pinned. Holding the ball. Great tackle laid by Wakefield, little limp from him. He turns now, just gets it up towards a hot spot, over the back, easy goal coming up. And Grace, who had an opportunity a couple of minutes ago, he finally gets an easy goal. You're not going to get it much easier than that, and he made a bit of work for it because there's a bit of mud he had to contend with. We'll see in the mood for a replay. But there was a tackle. You've got to feel a little bit, because Isaac Saltmarsh had no option, but this is a good kick because it's deep enough to provide some challenge for the defenders, and tell you what, that's just sloppy work. Got to be someone over the back. Mismanagement there as Fergus Wells, who is probably not that player because that's not where he's been playing, but just a little too easy. And another goal to Glenorchy. 6:18.54 on the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. Lindisfarne 1-2. And they're on the 8. Looks like Holdsworth moved into the ruck. So some changes here have made. Sladen's has moved into the middle as well for Lindisfarne. And I don't mind the move of Isaac Saltmarsh. He's got a bit of talent, this lad. He's just on the left-hand side of the screen. Looks like he's next to Quarrel. Now I'm just trying to work out, is there some number issues here? Not real good. And we're away here. Late in the third. Tap, thrown. Running through is Hitchens. Hitchens again. Boots off the ground. Oh, dude, that's just an example. Probably the driest part of the ground. The handball's still missed. A little bit of work's going to be needed on these lads, and just a bit of poise and time, risk and space stuff, decision making, and feeling comfortable and confident when you've got the ball. One, to know exactly where your defender is, but secondly to know you've got someone to come and help support you. Just on occasion there's been a bit of miscommunication, but that's the end of the third. Lindisfarne are a long way behind, 1-2-8. Glenorchy 6:18.54. Certainly had a fair bit of football in that quarter, Lindisfarne, but unfortunately they weren't able to capitalise in the back half of that quarter. Glenorchy really dominated, and there were some goals from Jack Howlett. Jack Grace got the easiest goal he's ever going to get. Kay Burgess also got one. The multiple goal kicker, those, Jacob Quarrel, kicked a couple in that first quarter. Modron kicked one early in the first half as well. And our solitary goal kicker is Ben McCallum. So some work to do in this quarter. I think you could say it's a little beyond Lindisfarne. They've been pretty competitive though. I'll be a little bit frustrated though they haven't had some more opportunities to get some scores on the board. They certainly had the ball in their forward 50 for about 4.5 minutes in that third quarter, unable to take advantage. And you've got to say, some really great defence from the Pies. One of those players with Greenwood is now in the middle, so switcheroo, things are moving. Banazic, Sisse, trying to keep it in front, can't get it. And dashing out his Rolls. Rolls again, we'll probably enjoy. A run in the middle as well. Now it's out here to centre wing. Taken high, the umpire didn't see it, although when you slip down on your knees, it's really easy for the umpire to say, look, you had your opportunity. Rolls will get to this first. Doesn't quite swoop down, gently onto it, and decides just get it onto the right boot and get it further forward. Greenwood. Tapping it in front of himself. Now Modgeron kicks it up to half forward, but a bit of relief. Holdsworth's got it. Holdsworth to the glue pot. Slipping over his Saltmarsh. Holdsworth again. A lot of touches. That left boot driving the ball up to centre half forward. Sward. Geez, did well then Wells. Wells has knocked it out. Greenwood in there. Greenwood again. Spins, neat. Gets that ball out. Looks for a teammate further afield. And he's found Modgeron. He'll turn around. He'll do something with it as he always does. Kicks let him down a little bit. Forward Wolf. Keeps it in front of him. Some pressure coming from the side from Millwood. Scooping it up neatly. That's Meredith. Meredith tight in the pocket. Meredith's kicked great. And the diving Moulet, as you see in the Move Food replay. Forward Wolf. I haven't seen a lot of Dare. He's been, I think, a little bit in the back half. Now he's moved forward. And that's a comfortable mark on his chest. And he's in the right forward pocket. A spot. Jay Bowden doesn't mind kicking a goal from here. Let's see what Dare can do. Little awkward. Tell you what, though, it's effective. Yes, it is. Dare him to do it. Dare him not. And Riley Dare's got a goal for the Pies. So relieving it out now. Kicking up to half forward. No, the ball's just been dropped. Sasse, he runs out. Holdsworth. Holdsworth again. So he's handballing to his mate and then handballing further forward. It's going to be a free here. So it's just in the hands of Archer. Archer's got to give it up though. Driving it is Modgeron. Gee, that's a nice kick from Modgeron. He's been fantastic today. But Lindisfarne just knocking out. Sladen's. Sladen's again. Little cheeky handle from Hitchens. Rolls trying to win the football. Quarrel's just been a little quiet in the last few minutes. And dancing, pushing and knocking and driving. And look at that great contest out of bounds, I think. Yes, it is. In fact, the umpire's going to have a throw up. Still Lindisfarne. And out of bounds, probably a good result. So Lindisfarne, 1 goal 2-8, Jackson Motor Company scoreboard. And a dirty old day for them, and unfortunately, no chance for a win as they stay towards the bottom of that ladder. Greenwood tries to get it. He's got a teammate there in support. He'll chase this one down, Greenwood. He's got a bit of pressure there from Archer. And Archer nearly loses his headband. Keeps it in place. Support there, and it's going to be another throw up here. So latter stages of this game in the STJFL, 16 boys, or 16 and a half technically. Hogan in the ruck. He's been going up against Greenwood the last little while. Hitchens in there, he's desperate footy. Greenwood on his knees. Matchins as well. He's had a pretty good game. A couple of times he's had it, he's looked really confident with the football. Glenorchy drive further forward on the dry part of the ground. And it's just repelled for now. Might not be for long because Burgess has got it. Finds his way around one opponent. But one player who's held him up really well all day is Holdsworth, and he just gets the ball onto the boot out to half forward. And a little bit of work provided here from Sward. Sward off the ground once. The side's off the ground, and again isn't a bad version for him. Fleming. Wells will get onto it. Slung as he kicks the football. Now Lindisfarne with an opportunity. Just needs to sit still here for a little bit. Oh, he can't get it. Dragged. On top. Stacks on the mill. Yeah, we're going to just hold it there as the last man on the pack there, Riley there. And I can tell you what, number 71, Orlando Archer's been chirping away all days. He's had a reasonable match at the moment. Wells trying to ruck into that contest. Blythe as well, it's just cleared for now. Tiny, great contest as two players thump into the football and thump into each other. And it looks like Sward might have gone down a little harder. In fact, well, that could be Jaden Banks, in fact. Holdsworth from 50. Long mark. No, nearly taken. Fleming's had a few opportunities. It's going to be hard to kick him when you're on your knees, though. Archer again. Pressure on him out of bounds. So it's nearly 7 gone, and I think that Sward over there still down. He did cop one in the head as that was a pretty ferocious contest a few moments ago. Howlett. Bud now. But the first one into that one is Garwood. Archer. Clever. Gets it out. Swings around to the right boot, and the Lindisfarne boys have got their second halfway through the last. And I can tell you, they deserve it. And I'm pretty sure with Sartori, the two long blonde locks there involved in this one. It was maybe a slightly lazy punch there from Garwood. This is the first contest which sets it up. And Sartori there, he handled it out in fact. And it's a nice little finish. So goal to Lindisfarne. They would have wanted that one. And Archer, I reckon he deserves that, Orlando Archer. And he might just enjoy seeing that number 1 goal next to him, considering 2 goals, 2-14 to 6-19-55. Dirty old day for most of it, but they've contested well. Angus Hogan. Sisse tries to win it. Hogan again. Kicks it in hope, particularly to anyone. It's been really good today. Holdsworth trying to get it in with his right arm. Then he taps it further afield. Now it's Blythe. Blythe dodges one, dodges another. Kicks towards the pocket. Sitting here held by himself. Doing what he wants. And unfortunately though, he's missed for a behind. Now the play on option's been probably used all day here from Lindisfarne. Kick off the ground option, right? Not the best. It's been really ineffective for most of the day. Alright, Lindisfarne again. Archer. Chips it further forward afield. Fleming. Fleming dribbles and dribbles and dribbles. It stops in the mud. It's still in the mud. And that is an interesting one, but it is behind. And they're going to play on. Let's see this one in the replay. That stops in the mud. I don't reckon it actually went through, did it? No, I actually don't think at any stage they go over the line, but let's not pick hairs on that one. So nearly 10 gone. Fleming wants to get in the ruck contest here. He's going, come on lads, I'll get in there. I'll sort it out. Doesn't get too close. This 8 on the end of that. Right boot. Defensive work required. Webster, round 1. Loves to weave and navigate himself through, and that's a lucky kick. Blythe's got it. Haven't seen too many of this. The 45 option hasn't really been used too much. Quarrel's been quiet in the second half. It's not a bad kick though. He's trying to find Tumney. Went past him. They've just set themselves up a little bit better here in defence, although look out, because that was nearly a tackle. In fact, the umpire said it was. And a nice tackle from Meredith. So Meredith off half forward. He's looking for a lead. He just hesitated and probably took an extra step. It meant that he got close to the player on the mark. Wakefield. Left forward pocket now for Glenorchy. Can Dare get something? He's had one opportunity in this quarter. Not on this occasion. And the umpire will take it back and throw it up. Howlett. Marjoran. Geez, I reckon he could have picked it up. Well, they saw the open goal, but really the ball's the oval-shaped bag of wind when you try and kick it off the ground, particularly when it's slippery, rarely goes straight. It's a very quirky little football. This great work. Body work from him. He just pushed away Tumney and took a good mark, but then his kick wasn't really reflective of the good mark and out of bounds. It's probably the wetter part of KG5 today. Hasn't been down there that much. They've actually tended to go through the middle of the ground, both these teams. If anything, this wings probably is a fraction more. Webster. Sissay. Fought hard all day. Has not given up at all. Swing on that one is Fleming. Wakefield tapping onto it, trying to get it as Howlett. Coming through and winning it as Blythe. A lot of players just around this one at the moment as they're just a little fatigued to try and reach down and get it. And I can tell you one guy that's not, Ahmed Sissay, is not interested in protecting himself. He just throws himself relentlessly at the football. He is a beauty. But unfortunately he's had a lack of teammates supporting him and a little bit too much class. And the systems and the structures, particularly in the second half from Glenorchy, has been pretty good. Their ball movement further forward. Even though it's been quite aggressive work off half back from Glenorchy, I think some of their ball work through that middle of the ground has been outstanding today in difficult conditions. So I'll throw up here, later stages. Let's see if Lindisfarne can try and find a couple more goals here just to make this scoreboard possibly not necessarily reflective of the game, because Glenorchy have dominated, but I think Lindisfarne, a general play, have been pretty good. Neither team's really been as polished as I think they can be, as probably not as polished as a couple of the bigger teams at the top of the ladder. You see in the replay here, scragged off the ball. And a little bit of chit-chat. Tell you what, Archer trying to win a free kick there, and he's got one. So Archer now, 35. The one-handed drop, it's gone about 30. Fleming, now he can get it off the ground. Still can't get it, the mud stops it. That's how much it's congested down there. It's not just the play, it's also the dirt here is preventing problems for the Lindisfarne travelling team. Might get a chance to go back here again. Hoggins in the middle, just needs to get to him. Just got tackled. Did he get the ball? Then he got the kick away, so he did dispose of it according to the umpire. Howlett. Sissay trying to beat 2 pies, trying to beat 3 pies. Give them some help, boys. Where are the Lindisfarne players? Now they come in to provide some support. And I think we'll just let this one play out in the mud. There we go. We're not going to take a while. I think they've got to take their jumpers home these days. Some of the rules that AFL Taz have talked about is wash your own gear. One of the protocols. Well, not necessarily all clubs are doing that. Benazik, been tough today. And one good thing is that there's a bit of water on the ground, so the ball does quickly lose that mud and enables us to at least see the football. So Benazik now on the best for Glenorchy. Goes up trying to find the hands of Sladens. Slips through his fingertips. Been a bit of the story of the day so far. Blythe. Now some run from Lindisfarne. But once again, when they do get that run, it's someone like Garwood and Coe off half back and Webster on that occasion. They've been so good to get the footy run. But they've been reading the play really well in this last sort of 40 minutes of football. Now to sort of stop that. Fleming now. Didn't really look. Still might be a chance though. Archer. Still there, Archer. Still there, Archer. Off the ground, son. Yes! Cross the ball. Sartori with a goal. And I can tell you, that's not Australian rules football there. That's the world game. As we see the neat little cross. So Fleming's been good in this quarter. He's provided a few opportunities and just the pressure. Didn't get the bounce. Archer was great. Here's a centering kick. Bang off the ground. There we go. That's how you play it when it's muddy. And Semi Sartori with a sausage roll out of the glue pot. So just steadying things here. Couple of goals, Glenorchy, in late in that third. But Lindisfarne, you'd have to say they've had most of the play and they've looked pretty dangerous. Hogging in the middle. Go with dare. Sisse. Half forward. Fleming nearly got his right hand onto it. Chasing that one down, Saltmarsh. Dragged off, yes, did not have the football. I think it's Sartori, or it could actually be Archer. They're quite similar. Let's see on the Mood Food replay. You'll see a hold in a second. He decides. Let's get it to Fleming. And Mitchell Fleming, he's had a few opportunities to set up a couple. He's been involved. He's been busy. And he's going to have a chance to get a 6-pointer through. He's 25 out, pretty much directly in front. Just into the shadows here at KG5. Fleming for goal for Lindisfarne. And Fleming dobs one. You beauty. Couple of late ones here. Just tighten the scoreboard. Give them some confidence, a bit of belief. And certainly the JMC scoreboard at the moment. Lindisfarne, surprisingly, doesn't look too bad. And we'll see Fleming's kick, a good kick on goal. And he moved that leg further forward. Got the right arm out of the way. Nice kicking action from Fleming. And he did the job for his team. And the Jackson Motor Company scoreboard has got him within 30 points here. Late in the fourth. Sun out, guns out. Sun out, mud out. Duff TV. STJFL action. Howlett. Sisse Howlett. And a little bit of shoving and plogging, and Matchin will be in it again. Hogan dishes out a handball. Blythe off the ground. And I think it's a free kick here. So, Hogan, who's been fabulous all day in the ruck, has found Holdsworth. Ever reliable off half back. He looks good there. Got to say, they've just found a bit of space up half forward at the moment. Holdsworth, he ran. He was initially the kick, climbing up the back, trying to get around the back. Saltmarsh in the pocket. He's got 2 Glenorchy players to beat. Kicks it off the ground. He's now got 4 Glenorchy players to beat. Banazic in there. Saltmarsh dragged off. Free kick. McCallum. So McCallum, who had a good first quarter, is going to try and have a chance. He doesn't muck around, McCallum. Maybe you should have. Take your time. Out of bounds on the full. Great call from the umpire. Well, maybe he's going to have another go at it. Well, there you go. So take 2 from McCallum. Still doesn't take much time. Drives in again. Second opportunity. Results a 1-pointer this time. As we are taking the mickey out of that young lady there doing the umpiring. She just does not want to slip over in the mud on Duff TV. Thanks to her and all the officials once again. Kick out now, Glenorchy. Driving it out. Finds Quarrel. Off half back. Really likes being forward though. I feel the sort of guy that seems to just lift a little bit. Forward wolf to his fingertips. Blythe. Sisse gets it out. Finds Banazic. Half forward for him. Kicks off target. And Matcham's got it. And the Sirens got it as well. It's a KG5 win. It's a Glenorchy Pies win. Comfortably in the end. There's one layer with the ever-increasing stiffness that might get up as Wakefield just stretching his legs out there. And the handshakes all around. A little bit frustrated, I reckon. It was a frustrating game. It was a frustrating day of football. But I hope you enjoyed it here at Duff TV. Thanks again to Cripps and Master Baker, JMC and Mood Food, the supporters of Duff TV. But not a bad game of football. The goal kickers again. Quarrel with a couple. Sartori with a couple for the opposition. And singles for Glenorchy to Howlett, Marjoran, Grace, Dare and Burgess. And for the 2 Blues, Archer popped up for 1 and Mitch Fleming in that last quarter with a nice set shot. It's been a cracking game of football. considering the conditions. 6:21.57, inaccurate Glenorchy. Lindisfarne, 4 goals, 4:28. Once again, Cripps and Master Baker, thank you to you. Good day out here at KG5. Aaron Peach, Roberts here on Duff TV. I hope you enjoyed the action. Stick around. Plenty more football in the STJFL for season 2020 as we say goodbye for now.